Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone. So hopefully you all will be fine. So today we will start from new chapter and that is the communication. So when you talk to someone and let's say this is you and you talk to someone and that is near to you, then you will talk and he or she will hear you. But what if you talk to someone and that is too much far away from you? Then she will be unable to hear you. Okay, so this is the problem. So physics deal with this problem, and in physics there is a sub branch that is the communication branch. So this communication branch deal with this problem. Okay, so how communication branch deal with this problem? So in this chapter we will discuss all details about all these things. Okay, in last class I discussed about the modulation, and I also discussed about the types of modulation. The first type is the FM, which is the frequency modulation, and the second type is the AM, which is the amplitude modulation. So frequency modulation is the frequency of the carrier wave, which varies with the displacement of the information signal. And amplitude modulation is the amplitude of the carrier wave, which varies with the displacement of the informative signal. So we also did numericals related to amplitude modulation, and today we will do numericals that is related to frequency modulation. So now there is another question which may come in your exam, that why we need modulation. So there are few points due to which we need modulation. The first point is the less energy. So as we know that energy is equal to hf. H is the Planck constant and F is the frequency. So this relation tell us that your energy depend on frequency. If frequency is high, then your energy will be high. If frequency is low, then your energy will be low. So when we talk to someone, then or audio have a specific frequency, and that frequency range is the audible frequency range. So when we talk to someone, then our frequency will be located in between two specific frequency, and that is the range. And that two specific frequency is the 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Or voice frequency will be located in between these two values. So this range is known as audible frequency range, and this is the low frequency range. So when we talk to someone, then our voice have a specific energy, and that energy is this. Here h is the Planck constant. It has a specific value, and that is 6.63 times 10 to the power minus 34. So what you will do, if your frequency is, let's say, 40 hertz, if your voice frequency is 40 hertz, then and you need to find the energy. So what you will do, you just take the equation and multiply 6.63 times 10 to the power minus 34 times 40. So from this you will get energy in joule. So but this energy, as the frequency is low, so this energy will be low. So let's say your voice have energy, and through that energy your voice can reach up to this point. So after this point your voice will be zero, or you can say that your voice will get attenuated. In physics there is a specific terms, that is the attenuation. Your voice get attenuated at point A. Okay. So communication in physics, there is a branch, and that is the communication. So communication deal with this branch, that how person A will transmit voice to person B. So that is the we do that through modulation. So what we do in modulation, we have a carrier wave, okay, and that carrier wave have only one frequency. This carrier wave will be having only one frequency, and that frequency is too much high. That will be around about 750 kilohertz. You can say 750 kilohertz. Okay, that is too much high from our audible frequency range. So if the frequency is high, then your energy will be high. So what we do, we place our voice or informative signal on this carrier wave. Okay, so this carrier wave act as a carrier. So That's why it is known as carrier waves. So act as a carrier of or information. So that's why this wave is known as carrier waves. So it will transmit or informative signal to person B. Okay. So this is the one point that we through carrier wave we can increase our energy so that we can efficiently transmit our voice from person A to person B. Okay, second point is the size of the antenna. Second point is the size of the antenna. So in last class, I discussed that if if this is let's say this is my A radio station, and on the top of the radio station you will be have a transmitter antenna, and here this is, let's say this is a home. So on the top of the home we have another antenna, or you can say that aerial. We have an aerial. Okay, so this antenna will spread out the signal. Okay, and that signal have only one frequency, and that is that is that have only one frequency, carrier wave. Okay, let's say this radio station is 106.5. 106.5. Okay, so if you, this will also pass the this home. Okay, so when you tune your radio to 106.5, then you will catch this antenna signal. Okay, so here let's say person A is talking someone, then you will hear, or then you will hear that message, that transmission over here. So this transmitter will spread out the signal of only one frequency, and that is 106.5. Okay, so now what will be the size of this antenna? This size, what will be the size of this antenna? This size. So the size of this antenna depend on lambda, and that is the your size of the antenna, that will be equal to lambda divided by 4. Lambda is the wavelength. And we also have another relation, that is your velocity is equal to f lambda. So your lambda will be v by f will be equal to lambda. So your lambda have an inverse relation with frequency. So you can say that the size of the antenna will be having an inverse, the size of antenna will have an inverse relation with frequency. So if your frequency is low, then you will need a huge size antenna. If the frequency is high, then you will need a less size antenna. Okay, so we need to keep this frequency as high as possible, just to minimize the size of the antenna, because it will also cost a lot. There is also a cost factor, so it will also cost a lot. So that's why we need to keep the size as minimum as possible. And during storm, if you keep the size high, then during storm it will create lots of problem for you. Okay, so size is the problem. So we need a high frequency, and that high frequency we can get through modulation as a carrier wave. Now the third point is the poor reception. Third point is the poor reception. So I already discussed about this, that my energy is equal to HF. If your frequency is high, then your energy will be high. If your frequency is low, then your energy will be low. If the energy is high, then it will be possible for you to receive the speaker voice. Okay, person A. So and you will not need a booster. Okay, sometimes we need a booster for energy boosting, like if you want to transmit a signal, and at point A, your signal energy of your signal get low. So we install booster over here. Okay, so this booster will boost the energy of this antenna, of signal of this antenna. So it will boost and signal will transmit over here. So here we need another booster. So if the energy is high, then you will need a less number of boosters. Okay, so if the energy get high, then this can transmit or signal up to this space. Okay, so here you will need booster. So if the energy is high, then you will need less number of boosters. Okay, another point, and that is the last point, that is the power radiation. Your power radiated, that is the directly proportional to 1 by lambda whole square. So lambda is have an inverse relation with frequency. So you can say that the power radiation that have a direct relation with frequency, square of the frequency. So if the frequency is high, then the power radiated to another region will be high. Okay, so these are the points due to which we use modulation.